This question was submitted by Scott Elbaum, father of 2 kids, one a senior in Old Bridge High School, and the other is Brady, who is forever 15 and tragically passed away by suicide last year. The community has been super supportive over the past year, and from the bottom of his heart, he wants to thank you for your love and kindness. We all face a critical need to help these struggling children, especially the ones hiding behind their struggles behind being happy, similar to Robin Williams, Twitch, and Brady. To the candidates, are you 100% supportive of Brady's Voice's mission to help kids cope with their mental health? If so, please describe specific actions you would take to help these children.
Sure. Such an important issue, and it's affecting more children than I think people recognize. Yes, I'm 100% supportive because, as you've heard here tonight, and I think as everyone experienced, there's been a sense of isolation that I think our community has felt, communities across the country. And I think that there needs to be greater connection between the school, its administrators, and our students. We can't shy away from the difficult conversations. We have to make sure that there's that connection. On a personal note, my son dealt with some similar issues, and having that close connection between the parents and the school administrator allowed us to navigate some challenging issues. I'm 100% supportive of those actions, and it's maintaining that close connection with our students that's critical going forward. Thank you.
Scott, thank you. And Michelle, for everything that you're doing for the community. I had the privilege to be asked by Scott and his wife to MC Brady's Voice event that happened here in Old Bridge a couple weeks ago. It was just an unbelievable day with amazing resources all in one spot. I got an opportunity to meet some great people from Rutgers University, Catholic Charities, I mean, down the line. And I reached out to Scott a couple of days later because we had a little bit of turbulence in my house with one of my sons that's been terribly affected emotionally, socially, over the last couple of years. And some of the resources that Scott brought to us as a community, I was able to reach out to and utilize. And I thank you for that. And you know I'm 100% behind Brady's Voice. What we can do, you know, I'm also part of the mayor's Old Bridge Alliance for the Prevention of Substance Abuse. And these are conversations that we have not only about substance abuse, but about mental wellness of our children in the community. And I think there's no better point for us to move forward than to use Brady's Voice as a springboard.
So with having my own experience with mental health, I would love, if elected, I would love to try to implement programs in our school with licensed and trained therapists who are fully trained with helping children. Mental health comes in all different ways, and we need to help these children. I 100% back Brady's Voice, and like I said to you before, I commend you and your wife for doing what you guys do. I've had family members, I've had friends who I have lost to mental health, and to be able to speak, to advocate for them through your son would be an honor. So I thank you.
So when I came here tonight and I saw Scott here, I'm glad that I got to talk to him before the meeting started, because for the last few days I've been reflecting so much on a conversation that I had with him on Saturday at Old Bridge Day. It was the first time that I've met him. And to just listen to what he's been through and to what he's trying to do with what he's been through is probably one of the most inspiring things I've heard. I am in full support of the way that you want to use your son and in his honor to help other children, because that's what you are trying to do. Parents and teachers alike can also hugely benefit from in-depth and exceptional training in mental health. A child can only work towards getting better when there is a strong connection between home and school where they know everybody in their life is working together. So the answer to that is also a resounding yes. I know, I'm sorry, I have a little time, right? For those of you who were also at the last board meeting, Dr. Calandria did an excellent presentation on some statistics surrounding mental health and the use of social media. So I'm kind of hoping that in conjunction with what you're bringing forth to the district and perhaps some preventative measures such as organizations like Wait Till 8th that actually help nip some of this before we get into the full swing of mental health issues. I'm hoping that putting those two things together by treating what's already happening and maybe preventing some from getting there can be.
Thank you, Ms.
something amazing we
Francisco.
can do. Thank you.
Mr. DePrima?
I think it goes without saying that I would support anything to save our children. These are our babies, and it's a different world than when I grew up. They might not have the support at home. They might not have anybody to talk to. We have to provide that. We have to provide a safe haven where children feel like they could find an adult or somebody that cares and can help them. Myself and my wife, we always taught our kids, if you have to tell us something, tell us, please. It's not going to change our love for you or anything like that. It's sad. It's a different time than when I grew up. My heart pours out to you. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to stay, but I attended Brady's Voice a few weeks ago. And just the outpouring of love and affection there shows that this is something that's got to be addressed sooner than later. Thank you.
Scott, you, Michelle Mackey, have my full support in Brady's Voice. As you said to me the other day, Brady lives on through you, through this organization you created for him. I've tried to raise my own kids to have empathy for everyone. I taught them, you see someone struggling, go help them. You see someone being bullied, go help them. When they were really little, I used to tell them, they'd come home and they'd say, they saw someone sad or someone being bullied. And I said, that kid's going to go home and tell their mother how hurt they are. I said, just think like how you would feel if I felt that way. So I try to teach my kids to have empathy, and thank you, Scott.
So I went to Brady's Voice, the first annual walk, and I brought both of my children, my son who's in 4th grade and my daughter who's in 1st grade, and we had great exposure to different resources that are available. As we walked through the hall, we met with multiple people, things that I had no idea existed. And after attending, Scott and I talked on the phone, and we talked about the two main goals of Brady's Voice. And quite frankly, like Scott asked me, why is this not one of your top 3? And I thought about it afterwards, and it's part of my top 3 now. I think we need to work together with different resources and organizations to provide our students, our families, our teachers with resources. And it's not just organizations, it's peers, right? We talked about Hope Squad and how peers can help peers, right? Kids are often more comfortable talking to their best friend or someone else in their class. I think we need to have healthy conversations about mental health struggles and challenges and start to reduce the stigma that's associated with talking about these things. That's something that I would like to bring to our school district, partner with organizations like Brady's Voice, if I'm elected as a board member.
Sorry to hear about your loss and tragedy. I can relate to it. I had 2 family members gone through the school system. They used to wear headband as a Sikh religion. They were picked on every day, and end up 8th grade. By the time got it, he had to cut his hair because he couldn't take anymore. So as a society, I think there's a lot to be done to prevent all this, and this is a horrible tragedy to deal with. And I have many family members go through this similar scenario. Some survive, some, had to sacrifice. So as a community, we can come up with some programs to educate kids and anti-bullying. We really need to do a lot of work. So I'm all for it. I'm willing to contribute, come to support you wherever needed, and be part of the community to be supported. Thank you.
Yes, I'm 100% in favor of Brady's voice. Mental health, it's a very difficult thing going on right now, especially with COVID. The kids were on the computer for a year and a half, 2 years, and it really set them back quite a bit. Right now, I'm going through mental health with my granddaughter. She's in the district, but we were sending her out of the district. And what happens is with mental health, it's up to the parents or the families, it's up to the educators, and it's up to the guidance people to detect something like this. And when you detect something like this, we have to look for special help, people that are trained in this area. And otherwise, something's going to happen to these kids. I'm all in favor of it. Thank you.